tickets charge take?
That's another great question.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hello, folks. It's Patrick Gorman.
Hi, this is Jake Busey.
Hi, this is Bruce Boxleitner.
This is Tom Vera from A Gettysburg Christmas.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you.
There's a devil to pay.
Did you say Ed Lincoln?
Good night, everybody.
Bonfire.
You're listening to
Addressing Gettysburg Today.
I love this podcast.
Oh, exactly!
Oh.
Oh man, I forgot about Delilah.
Woo! Chattanooga.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Addressing Gettysburg Today, more commonly called AG Today, because we like to abbreviate things nowadays. We're too busy to say full words, so we abbreviate them to AG for Addressing Gettysburg. What do you want from me?
So the problem with that is people are like, what's AG?
Yeah, I know.
Somebody else said that. I think I saw Debbie post maybe last week when you guys were going live, like AG Live is going on now, and somebody was like, what's AG Live?
What is that,
like,
agricultural?
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Maybe when you share stuff, you shouldn't refer to it as AG. Yeah. That's a good point.
It might have been on the AG forum, though, so that might have just been like a friend of Debbie's that happened to see, you know.
Well, it is interesting, though, that the forum, there's people in the forum that don't actually listen to the show.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, why are you even, how did you find us? Because it's a private forum. I mean, they're welcome.
Well, yeah, sure.
But, you know, get with the times, ladies and gentlemen. How have you been?
You know what? I have been good.
Okay.
Busy.
Yeah. Doing what?
Work. A little bit of work.
Any interesting cases?
Yeah.
But you can't talk about
I'm
them.
not even gonna get into them. I have to say I have 6 cases tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning?
Well, yeah, we start at 8:30.
But
we
like,
got
how
an email
long?
this morning that the judge wanted to see me, the prosecutor, and the supervising juvenile probation officer about the first 3 cases. They're all co-defendants, but the judge wants to see us at 8:30 in the morning in chambers. So I don't know. We're all speculating like what's going on.
We're in trouble.
Nah.
What'd you do?
I have a feeling it's just something, you know, maybe she just has a concern about something, or, I mean, they're felony charges. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. So, 6 cases starting at 8:30 in the morning.
Felony charges for a juvenile?
Yeah.
So they, I guess if you commit a felony, you can charge it with a felony. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So, okay. So you got a lot of work tomorrow.
And it's a special day tomorrow.
I was just going to say.
Household. It is Kathie's birthday.
Yeah.
So, happy birthday, Mom.
39 never looked so good.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate that. So, yeah, very special day.
Kathie.
You know, I never thought I would say I miss Cam.
I do, too.
I have, like... I
You
don't mean
never
that
thought you would?
I mean, like, because he was always here, right?
I know,
like,
yeah.
Every week it seemed like he was coming around this whole entire summer. He
Even-
hasn't been
yeah.
around. We've only been hearing these, like, little clippets of
Cam from a year ago.
Yeah.
I know, and it's yeah, you're right. You do start to miss him.
Yeah.
You do start to miss him.
Have you heard how he's doing? Is he still down at Fort McHenry? Has he started teaching? Like, what's going on?
I started that probably back in 2001 as a young reenactor who in a camp in a little Malta uniform. Some guys took me under their wing, started and little by little I grew. I learned how to get around to reenactments.
There you go. Yeah, I've heard from him. He's having a tough time. He's had some rough news in the past several weeks.
Yeah.
But he's, he seems to be good.
Is it still the season down, like the quote unquote the season down at Fort McHenry?
Yeah, I think he's still. Yeah, he's still there.
Okay.
Yeah, I told him. I said, listen, I would like to interview you about the swamp dragons. And he said, okay. And I said, when you have time off, let me know ahead of time. And if we've got the time, you can come in and we can do it. He goes, well, I have Mondays and Tuesdays off. And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, you just let me know. I said, no, I don't chase after people. I got too much to do. If you want to come on and do this, I'm happy to do it. But you have to, you've got to let me know. And so hopefully we'll do that soon. We'll do a little, because I would like to know about the Swamp Dragons.
His schedule has to be changing soon, right? When is the quote-unquote season done for...
because he always ended it early, so I don't know what it's supposed to be. But I think it's after Labor Day. Or up until Labor Day?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm asking you, man. You're supposed to be the person that knows.
What am I, his keeper? I don't know. What the hell do I know?
I don't know.
I am his keeper. And so anyway, but okay. So Kathie's birthday. So now we're ending the show early tonight because of Kathie's birthday.
You don't have to end it early. Well, no, but I'm voting.
But what's going on that we're not invited to for Kathie's birthday?
I was thinking about this, and I know this is extremely selfish, but she's become like everybody's mom. And she's actually my mom.
Aww.
And I want to,
Kathie.
our tradition has been, even since before she moved out here, there were a couple of times where for her birthday or birthday weekend, we would come and have dinner at the Dobbin House. It's just been something we really enjoy.
Yes.
And the actual fancy Dobbin House, not
the
little
the upstairs.
fancy dining. Fine dining.
Where they have the did you ever have the crab meat? I forget what they call it.
Crab meat a la Dobbin.
No. For the appetizer with the
no, I don't really like
avocado.
Crab Louise or something like that.
Crab Louis. Crab Louis, yeah.
Something like that.
You don't like that?
I don't like mine cold.
Oh, I'll take crab meat. I'll take crab meat rotten.
Well, crab a la Dobbin.
Yeah, that's
just drowned in butter.
I know. It's the best. It's so worth the $25.
Their lobster tail's good. Their fillet
it's all good.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short is, and I know everybody means well, and it's really awesome, but we were kind of told by my mom's friends. Matter of fact, the lady that she went down to Mexico with and the extended family there, that they were going to be hosting us for dinner tomorrow, which is actually Mom's birthday. And we really didn't get a chance to say well, we already have plans or anything like that. So that's what dinner is Friday for Mom and I. And then Saturday, Mom has something with the church. She's going to be volunteering in a new role, and they're having a meeting over at Mama Ventura's at Saturday night. So really, tonight was the night to try to have our special little mother-daughter
You're forgiven.
birthday.
You're forgiven.
So
tomorrow, my sister and her family and her best friend and her family are coming down. I'm looking forward to that,
That's
seeing all the
awesome.
kids. That'll be fun. And, but we have our Get Out of the Car tour on Saturday.
Yeah.
And
I keep I know
you keep
tomorrow's
making
Friday.
plans to go gambling.
No. I know tomorrow's Friday because I have work, but in
but
my
you keep
back of my
thinking,
mind, I keep thinking it's the weekend already. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, so they've been coming down since I moved here, and and they always seem to come on a weekend when we're doing the Get Out of the Car tour, right?
Makes sense.
They never come to the Get Out of the Car tour because my sister. So when I used to come here as a tourist, the tradition was we would do the double-decker bus. And, my dad liked doing that, and so we would do it. My sister would come and everything like that. And so now she seems to be doing that tradition there with the bus. But I'm like, yeah. I said, listen, can you at least allow the men to come on my tour? Because they seem to always want to come, but you guys don't let them come. Can you just let them do that, please? Because I want somebody in my family to see what I've built. Yeah. Nobody has an interest. My mother was the only one that came down during the show at the Farnsworth House, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else, they're interested from a distance. Oh, well, that's great. That's good for you. But nobody actually comes and partakes in anything. And so I think the two husbands are going to make it to the tour on Saturday, which would be nice. But I'm not holding my breath. But anyway, they're going to come down tomorrow, and they're coming late afternoon. They'll be here, so it'll be fun. We'll do some. I'll probably take them to Savorhood.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, and then we'll do Dobbin House on Saturday night, or the other way around.
Yeah.
Because
I saw Savorhood is starting to do, or they have been doing live music. So
and comedy.
They had a comedy routine or comedy show.
They're coming on next week. Are you going to be here next week?
What's next week?
We need to get a calendar to hang up just to know when Veronica's on or off.
I think I am next week, but not the week after, because the week after is the Carol Reardon tour. Yes.
Right. So next week we're going to have the owners I don't know if it's both or just one, but the owners of Saberhood are going to be on for a very special announcement and presentation, apparently. So God knows what that could be.
Whoa.
So yeah, be here for that. Make sure you watch that. And it is a cool place. It is definitely a cool place. Rich Condon commented. He said, "Hi, Inns. Can't wait to be neighbors. You know that? He's moving to town. You did know that.
Yeah.
Richie's moving to town. Not too far from me. Just as I'm preparing to vacate town.
Really?
Yeah. Not because of Rich.
Yeah.
But I've been teasing it, but I'm not going to say anything. I'll tell you later, but I'm not going to say anything publicly until it's actually set in stone. But it looks like it's going to be set in stone, so we'll see. But
I'm really curious, not to go away from you, but with Rich, I'm very curious to hear what exactly a park ranger at the facility he's going to be working at. It doesn't seem like a lot of, that Catoctin. I mean, is it interpretive? There's no. I mean, is there history there, or is it just like wilderness?
Linked to Antietam.
It's linked to Antietam.
Yes.
Okay.
South Mountain, Catoctin, or with blocking the gaps.
Yeah. So they'll do like interpretive stuff, or it's just like, I know they have hiking trails and things like
Yes.
that, but I mean, is it more like nature, or is there?
I don't know. Rich might have to call in,
Yeah,
717-420-1978. You told Colby, put the number up there, please. I'm sorry. Rich, give us a call, Rich. 717-420-1978. We have questions. Tom Canavan is the other voice you hear. You might remember if you're a longtime patron back in 2021. Tom had an interview with me about his experience on 9/11/2001, and we put that out for the 20th anniversary. And Tom's in town this weekend for what, the tour, or just for whatever, or
just my pilgrimage at least once a year.
Yeah, there you go, your annual pilgrimage.
Just happens to be with the tour and the addressing Gettysburg, so I get to see everybody, and I bring some goodies down every time I come down.
Yes, you do. And you brought, what did you bring for Veronica there? Show us what you brought her.
Well, one of the things I try to do in the Mid-Hudson Valley in New York is try to save stuff, Civil War stuff, that I find in flea markets or, garage sales, a bunch of country stores. And every now and then I come across some books. If they're the original, like I have two here with about the life of Henry Clay, which I'm giving to Veronica. They're from 1887.
That is so cool.
Henry Clay, because Veronica, as we all know, has a ceramics hobby, and she uses clay, right?
Okay.
Tom, I can't think of it. I'm getting choked up because I actually, you gave me a very touching flag a couple years ago when you were always so gracious and thinking of us and
yeah.
I'm really touched. Thank you. Thank you
It's from being a knucklehead trying to leave a good legacy behind.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, I will take it.
That's why I put him by you.
Actually, another book. It's called The Perfect Tribute. It was 1909. It's about Lincoln with an actual dedication on the first page to Father from Marion, July 14th, 1909.
Oh, my God.
And it ended up being a library book because the schedule is in the back. And the last time this book was out was June, looks like the 2nd, 1967.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's
pretty cool.
Your
Thank you
library.
so very much. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Oh,
And
my gosh.
for
This
Matt's
is so cool.
library, I came across another book from 1888, which is a whole bunch of stories. I believe the woman's from Massachusetts. It's called Incidents of the Civil War.
Nice.
I only look for the original stuff. If it's not original, I'm not going to pick it up.
Right.
I actually found this week a hard copy, 1974 Killer Angels.
Wow. Oh,
which,
wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the guy who had it wrote his name in the book. But so it's not worth, when I look on eBay, $3,000 these books are going for.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get that, but
I don't either. For a book.
It's I guess it's depends on who's buying it.
I mean, I guess if it's out of print and all that's left are the originals and they're rare, that's different, if you want the information. But if it's in print, still, like, you can still get the Killer Angels.
Yeah, the paperbacks.
Yeah.
And I got excited today because I went through the Adams County Beyond the Battlefield.
Yes. How'd you like that?
They have a copy of that book in that museum.
Yeah.
Just before you leave before you go into the gift shop, on the wall, the actual book is on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, you're talking the Killer Angels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I brought some chocolates for the ladies.
Oh, very nice. You know I'll be stealing one of those. So here's the book that Tom gave us here. And if you ever come into the studio, you can check it out in our studio library. It's going to be in there as well with all the other things. There's a couple of other books that you gave me that are in the library. The New York at Gettysburg.
Right,
Yeah.
the original ones.
Yeah.
They were beat up, but again, when you find them, a guy's selling them on a blanket.
Check that out.
On the
Get that
street.
one,
Go ahead, Colby. Go to her.
There we go.
There you go.
Look
Yep.
who wrote this.
Wait, back up a little bit. What does it say?
There we go. How about
What does it say? Do I need glasses or is that not
Carl
in focus?
Schurz?
Oh, Carl Schurz.
How about that?
There you go.
We
A
know that guy.
connection here. We
Of
sure
course there is.
do.
Of course there is.
This is so cool. Tom, thank you.
No
Yeah,
problem.
thank you very
You
much,
really
Tom.
don't have to bring this.
And
We just
if
like
there's enough wall space, I actually picked up a Troyani
Oh, we'll make space on the
Limited.
wall.
out of 1500. I think it's 1336. It's the 5th Texas at Little Round Top.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's framed and it's.
we'll find the space on the wall if you're going to
I'm
give that
sure
to
you
us.
will. I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for all that, Tom. There, our buddy Rich has called in now to follow my orders. So thank you very much for that, Rich. Rich, what's going on with you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Nice to hear your voice.
You as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I saw that you had mentioned I should call in and kind of let you know what's going on here. We're going to be moving. We'll actually be in Gettysburg next Saturday.
All right.
We're moving into our new place.
Nice. Oh, wow.
And then, yeah, it's a quick turnaround, and then I'll start work the following week at Condon Mountain.
So,
Sounds very schleppy.
so tell me a little. What are you going to be doing? Answer Veronica's questions. What are you going to be doing at Karaoke Mountain?
Oh my God. That was awesome.
So,
Was that where the Sermon on the
a
Mount
lot of
was?
people, a lot of people go to the site, of course, for recreation. I think for a long time it's been a place where especially people from the D.C. area, will go to get away from the concrete jungle. But there's, great natural resources there, but also awesome cultural resources. There's a lot of history at the site that I don't know if a lot of people realize. Everywhere from Native American history.
That's what I
to
thought. Yeah.
The World War II deal, huh?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It might have more Native American history than anything.
Well, that's just the beginning. I mean, there's a lot of great labor history and Appalachian history, which is right up my alley.
Okay.
My minor was Appalachian studies.
Very nice.
Bonfire.
But also the New Deal era.
Uh-huh.
So we go up to World War II, of course.
Right.
And, a big part of what I'm going to be doing there is kind of working on a lot of those interpretive materials. So, one of the exciting things we'll be doing is working on some new waysides throughout the park and, kind of building up the interpretive program at the park. So I'm pretty excited to do something a little bit different from what I've been doing the last couple of years.
Great. And so when you move around from park to park, right? I mean, obviously, you don't come armed with all the knowledge you'll need for that job, right?
No, most parks, they'll give you kind of a grace period to kind of catch on to things.
Right.
Just so I can stand on my own 2 feet, though, like I'm doing my own prep work before I show up, just so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, good. Well, that's
That
smart.
Sounds like a professional thing to do. I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't do
Try
that.
to.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like a deer in the headlights standing in the visitor center, and people are asking questions. So, I like to know my subject matter inside and out as best I can. But of course, you pick up stuff, as time goes on. Like,
Sure.
I've worked at Reconstruction National Historical Park now for almost 4 years, and I know this place pretty much inside and out. I still learn new stuff all the time, and I'm way farther than I was, say, in 2020. And thankfully, I came here with a background in Civil War and Reconstruction, but I that's the beautiful thing about it, is you learn new stuff constantly, especially if you're not from a certain place.
Right. Yeah, right. That's got to be a very fulfilling job to have, because you get to move around the country, experience different things, learn new things, and get paid. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, I would say.
It's not a bad job.
No, I don't blame you.
The other advantage is the fact that, I'm kind of, Catoctin's not really a Civil War park.
Right.
I mean, there's some Civil War history
Chattanooga,
there, but it's not central to the entire story.
Right.
So for me, that gives me the opportunity to kind of dive back into doing this kind of stuff as extracurricular work. I think I'll have a little bit more bandwidth to do more writing outside of my professional job.
How does it feel to be moving back to your region of the country?
I'm so stoked.
Good.
I love it. I love it down here, and it's been a great experience, and I made some really good friends. It's a beautiful area. However, I'm not the type of person that enjoys humidity or sweating. I wouldn't call myself a beach person.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a little too cold for that climate. But I'm a mountain person, and I'm ready to be back in the mountains. And
so
kind of be closer to friends and family.
Is it fair to say that as nice as it is down there, it doesn't come up to home in your eyes?
All right, Shelby.
Listen, Rich, when you get settled in and everything, we've got to go out and have dinner. It'd be nice to see and catch up and everything like that. But I must run. We are under the gun today, so I must move along. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being the one listener.
Are you actually moving away from the area?
No, not the area. No, are you kidding me? No, I love this place. No, I'm moving out of town.
Okay, I thought I was getting the town and you're booking it out of there.
No, yes, because of you.
You buying the house next to me, dude?
I'm moving right next to you, Colby.
Heck yeah, party all the time.
Yeah, because we've got good sight lines there. We can protect ourselves from Rich coming out to visit. We can get the guns up, and
we got a farm at the end of the street.
No, I'm not going out that. Well, actually, I don't know. I'll tell you guys publicly when it's all said and done. When it's a done deal.
First get out of town tour.
This is my right. This is my get out of the town tour. Yeah.
Hey, Rich, welcome back, and safe travels to you and Kim.
Absolutely.
And good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you, and I'll see you soon.
All right,
Sounds
Richie.
good.
See you next week or in a couple weeks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well,
Excuse me.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
bye.
All right, so what we're going to do now, folks, is take a break. And the reason we're going to do that is because we have to. And then we'll come back from the break. And do you have news?
We can
A little bit.
We can paraphrase it.
We're going to squeeze things together, so don't worry about that. We're going to come back with news and other things, and so let's do that right after these words.
Aren't you glad you used Dial? We are too. We'll be right back.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300.
To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
You're listening to the man who refuses to travel while single. I love that I never read these before I start this. Okay, all right. You're listening to the man who refuses to travel while single. Here's Matt.
I'm not.
Zabawa?
Okay, we're back now. Yes, we are back. I recorded. I didn't put it out yet, but I did a commercial for Billy Webster's album.
Yeah.
Called "Marching Through Georgia."
Excuse me.
And I said, why not do it like one of those old Sounds of the 70s commercials? Who can forget the sound of the 60s, or the sounds of the 60s? The 1860s. I can't, and you can't either. Now there's Marching Through Georgia by Billy Webster. All your favorite hits of the 1860s in one place. And then it'll say the names of the songs, and then it'll play a little bit of them. You know, like you don't remember those commercials?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, it's kind of, well, yeah. I mean, you know. But
Town Life series or something of like.
Hey, yeah. A couple of things we got to do. First, this we totally forgot to do this, Colby, coming back from the break, right?
Oh my God!
Oh
yes,
my God!
I did. I forgot.
It's our fault, not yours, not mine, ours. Okay.
Together, we're in this.
Together, we're in it. Yes.
All right, I can play it. If
All right. Well, I want to play it. So there's talk about the karaoke stuff. I gotta. So play this, just to give you an idea of what you guys might be able to imagine, or not imagine, expect from us when the karaoke contest takes place. And
this has been a nice time for me. This year I have made 55 years teaching in this town, and for the students on this show tonight, go to the First United Methodist Church. That includes me. I go to First United Methodist Church. Reverend Jones, Bill Jones, opened our show last time, and he's not here tonight. So John Daker's here, Bob Spencer, Michelle Casey, and I all go to First United Methodist Church. So John is going to sing a song that's very popular nowadays, and it's Christ the Lord is risen today, and he's going to do Amora too, okay?
My name is John Daker. Lord is risen today, hallelujah. Sons of men and angels say, hallelujah. To your voice in triumph high, hallelujah. Voice in when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-ling, ting-a-ling-ling, and the bell ring, more. You're in love when you know that you feel some more to me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore.
That's John Daker. So that might be pretty close to what you're going to see with us when we get to karaoke. But yeah, so now as far as that goes, that leads me into this segment, which is, let me make sure I've got it in here. I thought I loaded it up. God damn it, I didn't load it. I need an assistant. Did I load it? No, I didn't, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. Never mind. Well, you know what? F it. I just had my old hate mail intro with Ross Hetrick reading stuff and screaming and everything. But I don't have it on the board. I forgot to put it there. But anyway, let me read this to you here. This was a comment, actually, that was left on last week's show about karaoke. Actually, yeah, last week's. John Stewart says, I can't listen to this karaoke bullshit. I'm guessing most of your listeners will agree. I have and never will have anything to do with it or spend money on this kind of non-Gettysburg crap. You have way too much competition. Having said that, you are still my favorite podcast, and I'm praying you come back to Gettysburg content. None of you jerks can sing. This is torture. This is a nice ad. This is as nice as I can be. Please, no more gummies before showtime, Colby. And no lying about it. Still, one of your biggest fans, John. So I wrote back. Go F yourself.
Call me out on the gummy.
I wrote back, LOL, I swear, Colby learned his lesson and I have a no booze policy. Which is true. We don't drink before the show. We don't do anything before the show because that makes it stupid. We've always done AG Today as a non-history show that deals with what is happening in town today. History shows are still released weekly. It's cool that AG Today isn't your cup of tea. You could just skip it and listen to the history shows. Truth be told, though, I'm thinking of ending AG Today at the end of the year because while the feedback I've gotten is overwhelmingly positive, I do know that there is a sector of the population that just can't mix history with fun and will discard the whole thing. Discredit the whole thing over a small thing like karaoke. Suggested by a listener, by the way. So it'll just be easier to ditch this and stick with history. If I'm being frank about it, though, I started doing the Today Show so I wouldn't get bored or depressed talking only about a battle where people get wounded and maimed and killed. It's one thing to have a day job and study this stuff as an escape. It's another when you live it 24/7. That said, John, 2024 is going to have some changes, and I suspect you will like them. I know you've been a patron for quite a while, and I appreciate your support. I also appreciate the honesty of this comment. He wrote back, "Thanks, Matt. I was just about to write a note to you apologizing for being a negative asshole. I am truly one of your biggest fans, having listened to everything more than once, and I have no aversion to gummies, LOL. I will be in town for the August hike, my 65th month in a row hiking the battlefield, and I do it with gummies and headphones listening to an episode pertaining to where I'm hiking. I also grew up with Monty Python and Fireside Theater, so I do have a rather weird sense of humor. I'm also a professional musician, having played and worked in a band for over 25 years, and that should explain my position on karaoke. Understood, my friend. So forgive my attitude and just keep on doing what you're doing. It's awesome." So I said, well, we're going to have a beer after the tour, and I'm going to berate you for that whole episode there. So that was hate mail turned around. Hate mail turned around. It's a talent.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I didn't realize it would evoke that much. I didn't know if you know, I can never tell still after knowing you all these years whether you're making something up, whether there's
oh no, you can go on
like,
Patreon and see that comment.
But no, I mean I believe it, but
yeah.
But she doesn't believe it.
I believe you, but I don't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. No, I understand. Okay, so let's see. Old Winnie Boy says, "What a talent that guy was," talking about John Daker. Eric Houston said, "I'm washing my truck and had to come check my phone because I thought something went wrong." And Lowry Cook says, "Fire sign is the greatest." I've never heard of that. Fire sign. I don't know what that is.
Real quick, so while we were on break, Tom, can't even see, Tom or Tim? Tom.
Timmy Tom?
Wow, I need new context.
Uh-oh.
Tom wrote in asking if he needs to register for the tour.
Yes. No.
So
you don't have to, Tom. Just show up. Go to the website, though, and see where it says to show up. And park where legal, always park where legal.
I'm assuming, I haven't looked. I should have looked, but it's Pitzer's Woods this week, right?
Yeah, so there's a parking lot there. You could park on the road. Just be careful where you park. Don't park on both sides.
All 4 tires on the road on the right-hand side only.
All 4.
Do not park in the grass.
Do not park on the grass. And just because it looks like other people did doesn't mean that you're allowed to.
Yeah,
that's just because other people broke the laws. So
we can have plausible deniability if most of our people follow the rules. We can say the rest of them aren't with us. But seriously, we don't want to ruin it for upcoming tours, and we have a good thing going here. So please, guys, all 4 tires on the road.
Yeah, and Fire Sign Theater mentioned in the rant. I know what you meant, Lowry. I'd never heard of it before, even when I read it the first time in the rant. Old Winnie Boy says, "What's the weather looking like for the tour?" Doesn't matter, Old Winnie Boy. It looks good, but it doesn't matter. We go rain or shine because, what is it Lewis says? If it ain't raining, you ain't training.
That's yeah.
And I figure all the stuff that the soldiers actually went through, we can handle a little rain, can't we, folks? Come on. And we've only really had April. We got rained out. Well, we didn't get rained out. We got rained on.
Oh, I was gonna say, when was the hail?
That was last April.
Okay.
So 2 Aprils ago.
Okay.
I got caught out in that hail.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, you're right. You guys had just moved here yet at that point, or?
Yeah. Well, no, we had been here for a minute.
Okay.
We're hitting our We're hitting our 2-year mark right now.
That's right. Wow. Time flies. Tempest Fugit and Tempest Bledsoe. What?
Oh, Tom confirmed you'll see us on Saturday.
All right, Tom,
Looking forward
great.
to meeting you, Tom.
Looking forward to meeting you, absolutely. All right, let's get some listener emails done here. Chris Sturgill says, "Hi, Matt. Found you through the Battle of Gettysburg podcast. I was listening to them and then started searching for Jim Hessler on YouTube and found a video from you. I then started listening to your podcast regularly. I decided to join because I was looking for more content than what was on Apple Podcasts. Awesome. Thank you very much. Unsung Heroes TV says, I love the show. I just found it. Thank you for this amazing show. I'm dying to know the band who is doing that kind of Clash-style cover of Gary Owen in Ask a Gettysburg Guide. Freaking love that. Do they cover more Civil War tunes? Yeah, that's Billy Webster. You can go to billysongs.com, and he has a whole album called Marching Through Georgia, and it's all Civil War era songs. Not Gettysburg-centric per se. I mean, in other words, songs that were written after the Battle of Gettysburg are in there, but nonetheless, it is Civil War music done in a rock and roll kind of way. He says, let's see, I started at the first episode and I'm going through the Ask a Guides. My life goal has been to move to Gettysburg and be a licensed guide, but holy shit, after hearing the stuff these guys know, I think I'll have to settle for park ranger. Hot damn, you guys are on it. I grew up coming there every year as a kid, but now I haven't been since 98, 99-ish. So for my 40th birthday, that's what I want to do. Come and stay for a week. And I responded to him in the emails, but I got to tell you, a lot of people, including myself, once in a while, I'll find myself thinking this, and I know better. But I hear this from a lot of people. I hear people like Tim Smith or Gary Edelman or any of the guys you have on the show, Charlie or whoever. I'm thinking I'm not going to take the guide exam because I can't possibly know all the stuff that they know. Tim and Charlie and Gary have been doing this for decades, guys. Decades. And not only that, but they have very, very sharp minds that are like steel traps, and they've got a quick recall. They are unique. They're freaks of nature. That's why they're so special. Not every guide needs to be that way. And so don't get discouraged by that. And I say this not as somebody who knows because I've done it. I don't. No, I haven't done it. But I know a lot of guides, and they all say the same thing. When I had a long talk with Mike Rupert after we recorded the top 10 things to do in Gettysburg, and he asked me if I was going to take the exam, and I said, yeah, I'm going to take it just to see if I, what I don't know. Yeah. I don't expect to pass it. And he's like, I think you'd be a great guide. And I go, no, I would be a great guide. I'm not a great test taker. So I expect, not to make the grade several times before I move on. He's like, it's not that hard because you don't need to know all the stuff that these guys. No, because I had said, I had even said, and I knew better at this point not to say this, but to look at Tim and Gary, like all the stuff they know. And he's like, you don't need to know that stuff. He's like, I didn't know anything ever. And he's like, I'm just learning now that Robert E. Lee was the commander of the Confederate Army. No, he didn't say that. But, so that's the point. Don't get discouraged by that stuff. Andrew says, I have been listening to your free feed for quite a while. And as someone who has been studying the Civil War since 2005, when I put on a Civil War uniform, found you on a National Park Service YouTube video where they mentioned your podcast. I think it was a Matt Atkinson talk. Got nearly all the free feed listened to and wanted to give back and support the work you do, bringing both Gettysburg and the Civil War to people. Thank you very much for that, Andrew, and thank you for your support. I'm glad you found us. Timothy says, like many, I've suffered my share of health issues and business setbacks over the last few years. Enough on that. One of the few places I find solace has been the content put forth on Addressing Gettysburg. Thank you. Thanks for you and your team's great efforts. All the best from the land of Benjamin Jellison. That's Timothy. And finally, John says, hey, Matt, I actually found out about you from your Mortal Enemies, the Battle of Gettysburg podcast. Saw one of your interviews with Jim on YouTube and looked into you further. I love both podcasts. Well, what do you know? It's okay to listen to both. I love both podcasts and will eat up as much content as both of you guys provide. I really just want to learn all I can, hoping to convince my wife in a few years to either move to Gettysburg or get a divorce. No, he didn't say that part. Hoping to convince my wife to move to Gettysburg or get a weekend place there, hopefully one day. My long-term goal will be to pass the guide exam. Knowing how tough it is, though, I give myself a 5-year goal to learn as much as I can before attempting it. There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, your favorite part of the day is this.
You doing news or events first?
She's the gal who knows what's going on.
Notes. There's a test
So take
at the
notes.
end. Here's AG
There's a
Today's
test at
lead
the end.
anchor, Veronica Brzezinski, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
As I recall it, emptied my
Yes. That's fantastic.
That's my favorite.
I swear I thought we were at the end and we were just goofing around. I didn't realize you were. I should always just assume you're recording.
Listen, I record the lead up to the start of the show, and I record a little bit afterwards because that's where I got this,
You bitches up for food?
and that's where I got this.
As I recall it, emptied my kazoo.
Oh, and that's where I got this.
That wasn't me.
That was you.
I do better than that.
Oh, that was you.
All right.
I'll go back and find the whole thing so you can hear us go,
that's
Veronica.
Okay, that's right.
Uh,
So you were talking about news, and actually you brought this up. Some sad news from my home
Oh,
state.
sorry. Why are you
home
laughing
part
then?
of the- home part of
Yeah.
the state, right? There was a home explosion.
Oh, my God.
That was
in
crazy.
Plum,
Plum.
A little borough in western Pennsylvania, outside on the
Yes.
outskirts of Pittsburgh. This is not the first home that has exploded in the last handful of years. I don't maybe decade or two, something like that. It's like the third or fourth home out there. But
Any
this
other
one was
Because they said gas was not.
Right. There was something
Oh.
about the water heater or something like that.
Ooh.
So this is what, and I didn't do a lot of research, but this is what I know. There was a house that exploded, and it actually caught fire to the two houses next to it, and it actually damaged about 12 houses in this neighborhood. And these are not houses like Gettysburg houses right on top of each other.
No, these are
like
little
houses
yards.
with big property.
Yeah.
Spread out and everything. So apparently husband and wife were home. They have 2 grown children that I don't know if they were just not home or
There
they're
was
out
a
of the
third
house
person
already.
there at the house, I'm pretty
There
sure.
were more than that. So husband and wife were home. So this new, I guess, facts coming out about this hot water heater issue, but there was a neighbor who was like the borough manager. The woman had some role within Plum Borough. The next door neighbor was the borough manager. He was over visiting and I guess helping with this issue. And another neighbor with his 12-year-old son was over. The home exploded. We just yesterday actually lost the 6th victim. So the husband in the house apparently survived the initial explosion, had extremely severe burns. He passed unfortunately yesterday morning.
Wait, he survived the explosion?
He survived. So I don't know if he was inside, outside. I don't know. There were some reports that there were voices after the explosion, but with the fire and everything else, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
But 6 people, and then obviously it's tragic in and of itself. The community has been impacted. It's a close-knit community. A lot of those people have lived in that neighborhood lots of years, et cetera, et cetera. The guy and the wife were particularly active in the soccer league and not only on borough matters and things like that. So that just, you never know. I mean, my God, somebody's coming over to help you with a utility issue or something, and then just with the 12-year-old son,
Yeah.
who was inseparable with his father, and it just oh my God, heartbreaking. However, certainly not in comparison, but another tragedy is we all know about the fires in Hawaii, and
Yeah.
oh my God, they're still uncovering. There are over 100 deaths confirmed as of right now.
I think it's going to be
111.
1,000.
I'm sure.
I think all those missing people are gone in the ocean. They were in the ocean.
I mean, because where do you go?
In
Think
the
about
ocean.
that. I mean,
That's where you go.
Much like 9/11, a building's on fire. Where do you go?
Yeah.
What do you do?
No.
This is an island. Where do you go? To see
The
those
heat,
pictures.
the heat, even from the ocean, the heat had to be so intense from the whole town being on fire. Have you seen the videos of people? How the hell they do this? I don't know. They're taking video. I guess they have those waterproof phone cases, but they're taking videos from the water while they're floating in the water with the town burning in the background. It looked like hell.
Did no one have boats there?
Yeah.
Maybe they already got out.
they're on an island and.
To rescue them.
Yeah.
To get out, yeah.
Yeah.
You know
to
what?
Take people with them.
See, Tom, now you're going to turn me into a conspiracy theorist here because there's a lot of weird things about this thing. And by the way, the one thing, though, I don't find to be weird is the siren not going off because that wasn't for that. So, like, yeah. But, so that, right, where were I'm sure maybe there were some people. There had to be people that took their boats around. I hope so.
You would think just from the tourist... people fishing, people taking them out on the water, charter boats, or
and Molokai is right there. Like I was talking to my dad today. We were talking about it, and I said, "Is that where we were, Lahaina?" And he said, "Yeah, we were right there." And I was like 8, so I can't remember everything. And I said, "Yeah, I thought so," because I looked at it on a map and I saw it was really close to Molokai. And I remember you pointing it out and telling me that it used to be a leper colony, and I thought that a bunch of leopards lived there. And then you finally explained to me when I was 32 what leprosy was. And so, and so I mean, I don't know what the deal is on Molokai. Like if it's you got to have boats, right? I don't know.
The way I understand this, and obviously not all the houses are on the water. Right, it's just like anything. There's houses on the interior of the island and things like that. There's probably people with medical issues. There's hospitals. There's people in nursing homes. There are people with mobility issues. Like so, I don't know how many people live on this island, but a few hundred so far that are confirmed. It's not like the whole entire population. It's horribly tragic. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm assuming most of the people were able to extricate themselves in some way. I mean, I can't imagine the population of the island was like 200 and half.
Well, let me ask you
lost.
this: did the fire start outside of the village and then push its way in, or where did it? Do we not know where it started?
Well, when you're surrounded by ocean, first off, the winds.
Yeah.
I mean, most people don't realize a firestorm feeds itself. How fast it happens, how fast it catches you.
I was gonna say they're fast, man.
Yeah.
When it's a big fire like that and it's windy and moving.
Well, did you see the video of the wind? There was video that someone took of the wind, I guess, earlier before the fire started, somewhere else, and it just blew these telephone poles down, and it was coming in strong.
It's and where do you go? There was a fire
In the ocean
100 years ago, Wisconsin. I forget where a logging camp had started, and a firestorm, or even like Chicago.
Right.
Anything where the wind catches it, a windy city.
Yeah.
Right.
And everything's wood. And who knows how wet it was there. Did it rain there? Does it rain in Maui wherever, every day?
Debbie's sister was saying it had been dry, right?
Yes. There was not a lot of humidity. Apparently there was a hurricane a couple hundred miles off the coast or whatever, or away from the islands, and that's sucking all the humidity out. The moisture out of the air, and apparently that contributes to the fire.
I can't even imagine.
I can't either. I mean, and the sad thing is, to the natives, that's like a very sacred place. Yeah. And there's these stories of, them refusing offers for people to, buy a bunch of properties and tear them down and build these resorts and stuff over the years, and they've stuck to it. Like, it's a sacred place for them, and they've stuck to their guns, and it's all gone.
Well, is it a volcanic
What's
island?
that?
Is it one of the volcanic islands?
Can you Google that, somebody
Hawaii,
in there?
Underneath Hawaii is...
Yeah, it's all... I thought they were all volcanic.
That's... Yeah. So the heat below it alone, you would think at any time it doesn't take much to
like a little burp of the volcano, and then you could set everything on fire.
The tinder.
I don't know. I mean, and then there was another one on the Big Island, wasn't there?
I don't know.
I think there was. Like, there was some other island. One of the other islands had a little fire too. I don't know. But whatever, that's tough to look at. It's very sad. It's like, and it's kind of like a different version, but similar to. It reminds me of Vesuvius. What is it?
Pompeii.
Pompeii. Thank you. Because there's the cars on the road, and they're all just like frozen as where they were. And I guess the people said, "I got to get out," and they got out and went in the water. Like, it's along a coastal road. It's just you can't imagine.
Boil. Yeah. You're gonna boil in the water. I mean,
well, you got to swim away. I hope that's what they did. I don't know. We'll find out more, I'm sure. But
I can't believe a lot of the ash didn't fly onto some of the closer islands also and
start fires there.
off.
Yeah. I don't know.
It happens.
It does. It does. What else you got, Ronnie?
No, that's the news.
All
Just
right.
a few events this weekend.
Wait, just a few?
This weekend, where the action is.
What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica, to fill you in.
It's all covered.
So since we confirmed today's Thursday, that would make tomorrow Friday, right?
Yeah, that's
All right.
true.
So if you're in town, there's still time to catch the Friday Seminary Ridge event. At 6:30 p.m., our buddy Matthew Borders, along with his co-author Joseph Stahl, is going to be. They're going to be talking about their newest book, Faces of the Union Soldiers book series. And actually, I think the newest one is actually Faces of Culp's Hill, right?
You mean this one right here, Ronnie Ronstadt? Colby, if you don't mind coming over to my camera there.
Oh, sorry, hold
Colby,
on.
what were you doing?
Sorry.
I just saw your head pop up from the desktop. What were you snorting?
We were talking crap about
Faces of Union Soldiers at Culp's Hill. There it is.
There you go. So that's a free event, Seminary Ridge. If you're planning on attending, they suggest bringing a chair and meeting on the west side of the seminary. So it's going to be a free talk at 6:30 tomorrow night. Saturday obviously kicks off with the Get Out of the Car tour.
Yeah,
We
nice.
touched on that. It's
Nice.
a Pittsburgh Woods,
Nice.
sharpshooter coverage.
Nice.
Nice. Prior to that, if you want to, you have a chance to go over to the farmers market. That's still running. Still going. So 8 a.m. they start.
I saw Reza the other day at Bantam Roasters, and I said, "How's everything going? With the new location?"
Yep.
And he said, "Fantastic." Like he goes, he was actually apprehensive about moving over there, and he thought because it didn't have that downtown traffic, and I said, the old place didn't have the downtown traffic. Nobody walks past there. You were hidden away. This is so much better, and it is.
Right.
And vendors are doing better. Everybody's doing better, so that's good news.
Yep. So also on Saturday after the Get Out of the Car tour, if you are like me and you appreciate books and like authors and those kinds of things, all day at the Gettysburg Heritage Center on Steinway Avenue, the Gettysburg Publishing Symposium is going to be held. It's another free event, book talks and signings throughout the day from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. Specifically, the book talks, our friend Pat Rich, Ken Rich's wife, is going to kick off the series at noon, talking about the nature of the Civil War battlefield here. She's followed by Scott Mingus at 1 o'clock, Chris Bagley at 2, Ron Coddington at 3, Mark Dunkelman at 4, and Carolyn Ivanoff, friend of the show, at 5.
Just had her on the other day.
Yeah, and she's been on our show as well, or the spinoff.
Yes.
So, but anyway, and
that's
then
what she said.
That's what she said.
By the way, Veronica, did you hear this?
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
That's what she said.
Okay. I didn't hear the whole thing. I did hear Amy's introduction last week.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear the Steve Carell edition. So
You didn't like that?
I mean, I don't mind it.
It's cute.
We can
She
have
wants
fun
to be
on this show. Like the history is the history.
It needs a hook.
Didn't your buddy just set you straight about that?
Oh, please.
Anyway, real quick. So there are signings, including some interesting people. All the speakers that I obviously talked about are going to be doing their own signings. But Cindy Small, author of the Jenny Wade book, Steve Floyd, who authored Casualties and Commanders, and how about this, Phil Lano. The Phil Lano map, yes.
He's coming out of seclusion?
He is going to be there for signing. So if you're interested in any of those things, you can actually see the full entire list and catalog of the presentations and authors' signings on GettysburgPublishing.com. You can also find it under the Gettysburg Heritage Center, but I think there's a specific neat little flyer on the GettysburgPublishing.com website. So, and then finally, just to wrap up the weekend, on Sunday, speaking of Mark Dunkelman, if you're not familiar with him, Mark Dunkelman is the artist who painted the mural on Coster Avenue, the Brickyard fight there. He also wrote the book about Amos Humiston in the Coster Avenue mural. He is going to be accompanied by licensed battlefield guide Sue Boardman, and they are going to be giving a free tour of not only the Amos Humiston Monument. If you're not familiar with that, it's a pretty neat little monument outside of the Fireman's Hall, but also they're going to be walking down to the mural itself and talking about the Coster Avenue mural with the artist himself. So that's a pretty neat experience.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I'm bummed. We are doing another recording of That's What She Said. That's fine. But I personally will be missing this. But that is at Sunday at 2 p.m. Again, free. If you're interested in that, meet Mark and Sue at the Racehorse Alley parking garage. Do not park at the Coster Avenue mural. Those are homes right around there, and they're pretty territorial. Do not park there again.
Are you not allowed to park there?
You are, but there's very limited parking. and some of the people are very territorial about that's their backyards.
Really?
Basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why everybody's meeting at the Racehorse Alley parking garage, and then walking over to the Humiston Monument, and then going on to the Coster Avenue mural. So that's all this weekend that I want to share.
Okay, great.
Mainly because I got a birthday.
You got to get going. Go ahead. Go ahead. Happy birthday to Kathy.
Yes.
And let me see. I wonder if we can find really quick. We could do a little of this for her here because it's very important. We'll probably get dinged for this, so it'll only be available on Patreon. But I think.
So she's not making the tour.
Tomorrow she might. I'm gonna try to
we
talk
can
to you in
sing
the
happy
morning.
birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Fill it with name. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good time. How old are you now? Fill in with a name. How old are you? All right. You can feel free to leave.
Thank you. Thank you for your permission.
And with that,
yes. See you guys tomorrow. Not tomorrow.
No,
See you guys
Saturday.
morning.
Yeah.
There
So
we go.
Ronnie's
All right,
going to be there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to meet Veronica, the elusive, damned elusive, what is it? How does it go? The Scarlet Pimpernel, Veronica Brzezinski. She'll be there on Saturday. So come out and see her. Also, come and meet Major, little Major. You get to pet her and everything. She's very good with people.
I might bring one of ours just to see.
There you go.
I might.
I mean, you could always keep your distance if they, yeah. I mean, if there's a problem with them.
mayhem will ensue.
Yeah. Let me try once before. All
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Before we close, let me just before we
candy.
Oh, don't forget, Veronica. Don't forget your chocolates. I'll take them if she doesn't want them. I guess she doesn't want them. I'll take the chocolates then. What kind of chocolates are they?
I don't know. It's some fancy kind of stuff from the. Well, I'm not going to give them a plug.
No, I'll give them a plug.
It's the
Everybody gets a
Gettysburg
free one.
Chocolate Market.
Oh yeah,
right
very
off the
nice.
square.
Okay, and we've got. Look at that.
So
Oh,
2 boxes of assorted.
look, ladies and gentlemen, that looks delicious.
Very nice people working there.
Well, if she doesn't want to come back and get it, I might just take one.
Well, I'll save 1 box for her and Kathie.
Oh, all right. Let me just try one because I've never had their chocolates. That's a lot.
Their hot chocolate's great.
Oh, that's good.
Only
I'll
the
leave it at
best.
her spot there, and she'll eat it next week.
Only the best for you guys.
Thank you very much, Tom, for that and the books. All right, a couple things. Oh, sorry, I had to get the one with caramel. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You hate hearing people chew. I know that. Let me stop for a second and mute the microphone.
You're going to get some more emails.
I know.
Maybe you
It's
should
really-
have done a name that tune. You could have played the piano in the seminary. A couple of notes, and people try to guess what you're playing.
I did that.
Oh.
Well, not name that tune. I was just doodling before anybody got there. All right. So, caramel was a bad choice. Film Club, the Addressing Gettysburg Film Club. Casey Turbin is heading that up. It was his idea. Him and Steve Byers apparently were talking, and they came up with that idea. And I was like, how the hell did I not think of that? That's a great idea. So I think the first movie they're doing is Glory. And either way, the email address is agfilmclub1863@gmail.com. Send him an email if you want to get in there. I think he's got like 40 people who've already contacted him about joining. So that'll be interesting.
Next month?
Yeah, I think that next month is the first meeting. The idea is you pick a movie, you watch it on your own, and then you get together once a month to discuss the film. And I think this is really good because if you're into movies and you're into military, and these are, by the way, these are historic movies. It's not just going to be Civil War. There's only so many of those. And then it's going to be historic films. So it could be any war. It doesn't even have to be a war movie. It could be a movie that takes place on the home front while the war is going on. It doesn't matter. It just has to be a historical film. And so, you watch it on your own, you get together, you talk. So depending on what your interest is in film, like me, I'm interested in the process of filmmaking and the behind the scenes stories and, inner personality crap and tricks of the trade and all that stuff. So if you're into that, by all means, come on in and join the club. If you just want to watch it as a, movie viewer who doesn't know or care anything about that other stuff, that's great. If you want to look at it from a historical perspective, everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter what your perspective is. We want you to come in and partake in the whole thing. It'll be a lot of fun to do. So that's
should have started with A Bridge Too Far being September.
Yeah. I think we were thinking Civil War first. I think that's
but you're going to run out of them in a few months.
Exactly. That's why it's all history films. Yeah. Patreon. So I did this thing on Monday, I think it was. We did a couple of shows, and Monday and yesterday. During the week, we did some live streams of the recording sessions of shows. So one was an Ask a Guide, and 2 were Patreon episodes. And Tom, you were in the comment section on one.
I watched them.
And what did you think of that?
I thought they were great shows because it stirred up a little bit of controversy with some people, and it's good for the show to hear other opinions and just how people feel about things that you want them to open up at one point.
Right.
And
so the idea is, it's a perk that I'm going to give to the $25 level on Patreon. I feel bad for them because it's a video thing. But the way I was doing it was when we would do a show, I would record the video. Record video of the recording. And then, if I had the time, I would go in and I would edit it, put the, clean up the beginning and take just us talking out and put, the logo and then the commercial breaks in and everything like that. And I can't keep up with that because video editing, it's not, and Colby, you can back me up on this because you've been doing it. Video editing is not, it is time consuming in and of itself, but the biggest time consumer is rendering and uploading, right?
Yep. You gotta wait on that computer, man.
Yeah. You can go on forever and ever and just sit there, like for hours, you can just sit there waiting. And that takes up a lot of time. So I have this backlog of old shows. So I decided, you know what, from now on, it makes more sense. I'm just going to live stream the recording session. And in the beginning, when we're not actually doing the show, just for the privacy of the guests, because sometimes we have conversations that have nothing to do with the show, and it's just people talking about their lives. I'm going to mute the microphones, maybe play a song or something or whatever. And then when we take commercial breaks for Ask a Guides or whatever, same thing, mute the microphone for the people watching. But the idea is, especially for the Ask a Guides, we're still going to do it where every level, we're going to put the word out. You can send your comments or your emails, your questions in via email. I'll read them. But a new thing that we're going to add, and you're going to have to do it this way. I'm not going to do it from the comments. You have to call in. We want you to interact with the guide. I think that's going to make for a better show for the listener. And I think for you as the questioner, it's going to make for a better experience because, Tom.
Yes.
What's your big claim to fame?
Just being lucky enough to survive September 11th.
Right. Now, if I just wrote that question in and then the host asked Tom that question and that was his answer, then the host moves on to the next question. But I'm on the phone with you, Tom. Right? And so I say,
oh, that's interesting. Can you tell me your story?
And then you would tell the story.
Or I could say just Google me.
Or you could say Google me or go listen to the old episode when Matt interviewed me. And it was a hard-hitting interview.
If you didn't hear it in the first place.
Right.
Which you
should
have.
That's what I'm saying, is it'll provoke a conversation, hopefully, between you and the guide.
Right.
And Addressing Gettysburg is about being a conduit, a connection, a facilitator between you and Gettysburg and the people here. And so we want you to interact with them. So that's going to be available for patrons at that level. I will announce it with a post on Patreon for the first lieutenants. And then eventually there's going to be a subscription side of YouTube, but I have to research more about how that goes and how that works and figure out what to offer on each level for that as well. I would like to offer this thing about where you could see the shows being recorded to both the highest levels on both Patreon and YouTube so that people don't have to, switch back and forth or whatever just to get that. But we'll figure it out. I will I will let you all know when it's time to know things. John Stewart says, I rest my case concerning karaoke.
Yes, and there'll be no karaoke. No karaoke talk.
Gettysburg Images says, we've been to Maui 3 times, and it's hard to comprehend that Lahaina is no more. We have family that lives up country in Makawao. Did I say that right? Makawao? And they are devastated for our friends and family, Ohana, that lost it all. So yeah, it sucks. It sucks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what doesn't suck? Ending this show. Because we all know that you're getting sick of listening to me ramble on. And Colby has somewhere to go. I'd like to get back to the dog earlier tonight because I feel bad for her. And that's it. We'll see you all on Saturday. It's going to be a good time. Only 3 more tours left this month, next month, and October. So we hope to see you out there for one of them. Listener of the Year will be announced in October. Who's it going to be? Bye.
Gettysburg Today is produced by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky Esquire and broadcasts from the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios. Engineered by Colby Sumner and sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. Who are we? Vanderbilts? But if you want us to take better care of them, become a patron at patreon.com/addressinggettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
So he made a thoroughfare for freedom and her trade. 60 miles of latitude, 300 to the main. Treason fled before us, for resistance was in vain. While we were marching through Georgia, hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea. While we were marching through Georgia, while we were marching through Georgia, while we were marching through Georgia.
I love this podcast.
This concludes our broadcast day.